Hello everybody and welcome to this week's vlog. My name is Jenny. I am currently in Al Ain in the UAE. I'm sitting in my garden. I've got the palm trees behind me, got some jasmine plants just here, and it's the start of the week, so I thought I'd just do a very quick welcome to say hello. And I have no idea what this week is going to be having in store for me, so just going to have to wait and see. So I'm just sitting here having a nice drink in my new mug, which is Do Not Worry, Be Happy, which is just very me. I absolutely love donuts, and it's nice and pink, and then on the back it says life is better with sprinkles, which absolutely it is. So, but I'm not actually drinking coffee for once. I had a random can with a takeout the other night of orange Fanta, and I haven't had orange Fanta in years, and I just really enjoyed it, so I had to go out and buy a couple of cans. So I've actually got orange Fanta in my mug, just because I really wanted to drink out of the mug and I really wanted orange Fanta. So today's a public holiday. It's also the first horse race of the season, so we are going to watch the racing. They have actually sort of banned, because of COVID, spectators in the actual stadium, but the golf course in Al Ain overlooks the racetrack, and in fact I believe it's right at the finish line as well. So we have pre-booked in advance a table sitting outside on the terrace to watch the racing. I'm going to see what it's like. I've never been to horse racing here before, but because it's still warm outside and it's about 4:30 at the moment, racing starts at 5, so it must be 4 at the moment, racing starts at 5. I'm not really sure what to wear, so I've got to quickly find something to wear, hair and makeup, and then we will be out of here. So this is race number 2, just about to start, and we're in Al Ain, and we are currently sitting in the golf club at Al Ain. So how do you pick your horse when you don't know the first thing about horse racing? I go by colour, and my last horse came in last, so this time I'm going for the dullest colour out, which is black, and it's called Al Hadaf. And it is by the breeder Khalid Khalifa Al Nabouda. Oh, sorry. No.
Owner and breeder.
Oh, okay. Who are you going for?
I think I might go for Radwan.
Why?
Well, it's Jean's horse.
Ah, okay.
And his last horse, I haven't seen it finish yet. So I'm hoping the next one might finish.
So have you noticed in this race the jockeys are all a little bit heavier? So in the previous races they've been about 57 kilos, and now that these ones are all 62.
Because the horses are older, bigger.
Interesting. So we're at the penultimate race of the evening, which is going to be a sprint, and the horses are just going up to the starting line. So this race is 1 kilometre. And they're all in, ready for this one to start. And they're off. Good morning everybody, it's early morning, we're in the car, the sun is just coming up at the moment, and we don't have any coffee in the house, so we decided that we would come out this morning and come to Starbucks, which is a drive-through coffee place. I've never been to the drive-through here. In fact, it was Nathan's suggestion and I hadn't even thought of it, because he said to me, oh, you can't make a pot of coffee this morning because, so I just moved so the sun isn't glaring. He said to me, you can't make a pot of coffee because we've run out of coffee, so instead you'll have to use the machine and make an espresso, but I already knew that I had used all the espressos, so hence we are at Starbucks. Little drive-through. Do they have drive-throughs in the UK? Don't know.
Hi, good morning, welcome to Starbucks.
Morning.
Hi.
Can I get one tall American.
Tall Americano.
Yeah.
Hot one, yeah?
Sorry?
Hot, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And can I get one mocha with an extra shot of venti?
So white mocha or dark mocha?
Dark mocha.
Dark mocha venti
Hot.
with extra shot.
Hot.
Yeah, hot.
And what
With
cake do
cream.
you have, please?
Sorry?
What cake do you have?
Cakes we have chocolate cake, chocolate bliss cake, Victoria cake, caramel peanut butter, double egg cake.
Okay, I'm going to pop in. I'm going to pop in and see what cake they've got. So I'm going to pop into Starbucks and have a look at their cake. I mean, it would be rude not to have cake while you're here because actually Starbucks cakes are really nice usually. So much for a drive-through. Can I please have carrot cake? Thank you. That was a little bit painful. I walked around pretty quickly into the shop. They didn't really have a massive choice, but I chose carrot cake straight away. And then it was painful because I thought that they were just going to add it onto the bill, and Nathan was still sitting at the kiosk in the car. And then he said, no, you can't pay for it because you are holding up other traffic. Not that we were. And he'd already picked out the cake. There were two people in there. The other person had already picked out the cake and was wrapping it. All they needed to do was add it onto the bill. So anyway, I had to pay internally. Rather than go home to have our coffee and cake, we have decided to come to Jebel Hafeet. Jebel Hafeet is the UAE's highest point. Can't get a good picture. It's the highest point, and it's literally on our doorstep. So it seemed a good opportunity to show you Jebel Hafeet and also have our morning coffee somewhere a little bit different. And if you were watching the earlier part of the vlog, you will have seen this in the background from the golf course when we were at the racing. So Nathan, what is the temperature here at the minute?
22.
It's 22 degrees here at the moment, and we are anticipating it will be cooler at the top of the little mountain. So what temperature do you think it will be?
12.
That much?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say 15. And the bottom of Jebel Hafeet is actually quite nice because it's green sort of parkland, and you can go picnicking etc. there in the winter months. come to the top of Jebel Hafeet, get out of the car, and the first thing I spot is a pussycat. Incredibly friendly. I'm just very surprised to see a cat up here. In the background is Ain, and there are various places to stop as you come up the drive up to the top of the Jebel. Jebel is a mountain, and we will stop on the way down, and I'll show you some different angles of Ain as we head down. But for now, I'm going to sit and enjoy my coffee. So how was your coffee?
Cold.
Oh, that's how I like it, because I've got through mine so quickly, which is almost a first for me. And what was the temperature up here?
It was warmer than what it was when we started, which is strange. Normally it's a lot colder.
But it's beautiful up here, isn't it? It's actually really, really lovely. Anyway, give us some interesting facts about Jebel Hafeet. Including the incorrect fact that I have already stated on this video.
Oh, the incorrect fact that you said it's the tallest point in the UAE. Highest point in the UAE. In fact, it's not. It's actually the highest point in Abu Dhabi, not the UAE. The road is 11.7 kilometers long from the bottom to the top, and it is voted one of the top 10 driving roads in the world. Top Gear actually came here and did a stint driving this road. It is a nice road to drive up.
I think it's pretty scary. There's another pussycat. I did try to give them a bit of my cake, but they weren't interested, which really goes to my theory, never share cake, even with pussycats. And we put some water down for them, but they're not interested in that either. But they look in really, really good condition. So I think that they're obviously fed by the hotel. At the top of Jebel Hafeet, over there, that is actually the Omani side of the mountaintop. We're on the UAE side, and just shows you how close we are to the Omani border. And looking through the railings here, looking down onto the desert, that also shows just the deep colour of the red sand at Ain. I'm not sure how well that's actually going to come out on the video. And that's, I believe, Omani side. And then over here, coming across to Ain, and I will just come a little bit further down and hopefully get a better view. So it's a big housing development down there for Emirati housing, and then round in the background to Ain. So we started coming down the mountain now, and it's a little bit hazy where it's early morning, but you can see the mountain range in the background. That's the Hajar Mountains, and that is really Oman, the other side of those mountains. And then coming down to look again at Ain in the background there. And that white building is the is it Mercure?
Mercure Grand, yeah.
Mercure Grand Hotel. We don't come up Jebel Hafeet very often. It's usually sort of something that we would do when visitors come to stay. But it's quite nice coming up here now that we've lived in Ain for a little while, because it has a little bit more meaning rather than just sort of looking down on the landscape and, oh, there's a city. For example, this road along here, we would usually drive along and then go down that road there to about there. And that's where our vet is, and that's also where the camel market is. So again, lots of tourists go across there. It's just quite interesting. You can see some of the road that we are travelling down, and it's very windy but beautiful at the same time. So where are we here? So just about there is the cement works. Going up there is going sort of off the camera here, is going to the industrial area of Sinai. And you can see a green park sort of just down here at the bottom of the mountain, and then in the background all of the housing. And I'm just trying to work out exactly where our house is from here, and it will be somewhere around there. So this is what makes me a little bit nervous about coming up roads like this, when people don't drive carefully and they go off the edge. So this little channel through here coming down is what's called a wadi. So that's actually a riverbed, and in the winter months when we get rain here, the wadis fill up really quickly, and it can get quite dangerous because they flow really quickly as well. And if you happen to perhaps be driving in one, which is what people do here, you can get caught out, and people do die. They get carried away in the water. Last winter we had such heavy rain that all the wadis throughout the Ain area filled up, and the water was just rushing through so quickly. I've never seen anything like it. But this is a view from the other side of the mountain, so the sun is now behind us, and again looking across to where we live just over here. So we're really lucky to actually have this on our doorstep. We're less than 10 minutes drive from the base of the mountain, and I actually feel really quite proud to show you where we live, because there is so much more to the UAE than skyscrapers and sand. At the bottom of the mountains now, this is called Green Mubazara Park. I mean, honestly, this just doesn't look like you're in the desert, does it? It's so lush. And there is apparently a historic dam here. We could see it from the mountain, so we are just about to go and see if we can find it on the ground. Oh gosh, you can stay here. We just stopped and spoke to the security, and actually these aren't holiday chalets. These are chalets that you can rent and live in. And he told us that we asked about the lake, which we could see from the mountain, and he said it's only open in the evenings between. So we'll have to come back one evening and take a look and see what all that is about. So it's the end of the week. I have just done the editing for this week's video, so this is just my final goodbye for this week. But whilst I was editing the road trip up Jebel Hafeet, I actually couldn't watch it. It reminded me of playing a computer racing car game, and they just make me feel so nauseous. So I have put that element of the video together with music, but I haven't actually watched it myself. So I hope that you were able to watch it and it was okay, and you could enjoy the drive up the mountain. And it was really interesting for us because we actually discovered a few new places that we didn't know about in Al Ain. We've still got a lot more discovering to do, so we're looking forward to that. I hope you have enjoyed this week's video. If you have, please do give it the thumbs up. That means an awful lot to me. And I look forward to preparing another video for you next week. In the meantime, have a fantastic week ahead. Take care. Bye.